Hello and welcome to the Recursion Cafe, where we play games from the discard pile. In today's game of Unmatched, we have myself on the left and Ema on the right. I am playing Robin Hood, a ranged fighter with 2 movement and 13 health. He comes with 4 outlaws who are all melee. After any of them attack, they can move up to 2 spaces, which is really handy for hit and run tactics. On the right, Ema is playing Black Panther. He's a 2-move melee fighter with 14 health. His sidekick Shuri is a ranged fighter with 6 health. Whenever he boosts, he draws a card, and he likes to steal cards and put them on to his vibranium suit, which lets him boost with them. So far on this channel, we've seen Black Panther do reasonably well. However, we haven't seen him up against quite so many sidekicks. So let's see how it goes. I will immediately boost in. So Ema took his first turn and double maneuvered. I'll boost in with an ambush and take that center spot with a +2 item. And I'll be attacking Shuri directly with that at range with Robin. So really aggressive play to start with, and it's a Hunter's Eye boosted to 7 and an evade. So 7 to 3, 4 damage through to Shuri, who is on 2 left. Yeah, I thought I'd take advantage of the fact that Shuri is sitting within range and there's a +2 there, why not? However, crucially, I forget that Robin has an ability, so I forget to take a step back, which leaves me directly in range of Shuri, who will, of course, retaliate because might go away soon. So it's an analyze and adjust into a regroup, which is quite telling. It's not a great defense, so I might be trying to draw into more defense. Robin's best defense is not being there, but I did forget that. So I do draw a card, and then Ema steals the next Hunter's Eye, which is fantastic. So that's 2 5s out of my deck gone. Crucially, it's also a 4 boost. So at some point, Ema's going to hit me really, really hard with my own card. How very unsporting of him. Here's a Stalking Panther to let Black Panther and Shuri move up to 3 spaces and gain an action. And because I didn't take that step back, I am well in range of Black Panther, so the man himself is going to step up and take a shot at Robin, and we'll see if I've drawn any decent defense card. So here is a Wakanda Forever into a Snark. I drew a defense card, but I've also just given him a 4 boost. So I get to draw a card at least. Great. But Ema is hitting me with currently a 7, and he's probably going to boost it more. Yeah, so there's a 10. I'll just take 7 damage plus the 2 earlier, so I'll take 9 damage on Ema's second turn, which is pretty excellent. So then I'll maneuver because I want some distance, and I'll try and block the way, and then this outlaw, is going to knife Shuri, and she goes down. And I remember that I have an ability and take a step into the +1 zone. So Shuri's down, and all of my characters are still up. However, I am on 4 health, so I think as soon as Black Panther gets into range, I'm in trouble. I think earlier I called at this point that, that's probably game because that was such a big mistake. But we do play it out. And so, yes, I have all of my outlaws kind of buffering Robin. However, Stalking Panther, it turns out is a really good card, and he appears behind Robin on a space with a +2 with an extra action. So I'm not feeling great about this, and of course he'll be using the +2, and I will see it coming and defend with a feint. So it's only a 1 over the 2, fortunately, but I'm still on 3 health, so it's not looking ideal still. Whereas Black Panther's still on full health. Robin will take a shot from point blank range, and we'll see what it is. And it's a Wily Fighting into an Ancestral Insight. So both of our effects do trigger, no damage goes through. Ema will steal the top card of my deck to put in his suit, and of course it's the 3rd Hunter's Eye, and there's me expressing my absolute gratitude at that. He'll take 1 in effect damage, and then I'll move away, and I'll probably maneuver, or if I didn't already, I maneuvered first action, I think. So there we go. Black Panther will wade into the ranks. He considers going around the long way, but I think it's just too far, and hit one of the outlaws. And it's a regroup, which is perfect value, so 1 damage through and 2 card draw for Ema to keep up the aggression that he really wants to pressure me with. So here is another attack from Robin to Black Panther because he's still in range. And it will just continually be kiting him at this point. The Disarming Shot into an Ancestral Insight, which is a really good card, especially since he knows all the 5s that are out of my deck. And he steals a Defenders of Sherwood, which is another card draw and another outlaw. So that's not great. And I'll step back and stand by that battlefield item and try and position my guys to block for Robin. So Ema will take a maneuver, and he'll simply use the battlefield item and use a laser gun to shoot one of the outlaws, which is fair enough. I probably shouldn't have left him in that zone. I think I realized as soon as I ended my maneuver, I'm like, well, too late. Robin will step forward to take a shot and probably dance back. It's a piercing shot into an evade, so we both get to draw. Everyone's happy, no damage goes through, but I get 2 cards and Ema gets 1, and then I'll step back behind my man over there. So Ema will take a maneuver. At this point, he just has to get through and land 1 pretty solid hit into Robin, whose defenses do not go above a 3, which is a problem at this point. Feints are obviously usually good, but it depends on if you've drawn them, really. So there's a boost with a Shuri card for a card draw, and it's a wily fighting into an analyze adjust, which surprisingly means the outlaw survives. So here's a card steal. It's a 3 boost, great. I mean, it's not a great card, but 3 boost is pretty good. And then 1 damage to Black Panther. Hooray! I've done 2 damage in with just effect damage. So here's the outlaw trying to knife Black Panther, but he will feint it, which is a good call generally. You either want to not defend those cards or feint them. And then, of course, sometimes you'll get hit with an ambush, and then that's bad as well, but I don't think Ema minds particularly at this point. So there's a Stalking Panther moving through my outlaw and finding himself that pocket of space next to Robin, and he still has 2 actions. So here's the first. If I have a feint, I'll probably play it. Nope. No, it's just a Snark defending a Wakanda Forever for another 10 value. So there we go. That's game 1. That was pretty quick. So key tips, key learning points from Robin's side. Don't get 2 of your 5s and a 3 stolen. That's key part number 1. And secondly, remember you have an ability, especially early on in the game, because without an ability, Robin kind of folds like a piece of paper. Like it's not impressive. So second game, same starting positions. Ema will double maneuver as per last time. I will again boost in because we're here to have fun, and I'll just move forward like a troop with all my outlaws, and Robin will take a shot at Shuri again. This time no +2 because he left Shuri out of the zone, and Shuri will use the battlefield item, and it's a piercing shot into a feint. So I knew that Ema would want to defend her, and she sat on an item, and so I thought I'll just throw something there and try and bait out a good defense from Ema. And drawing out a feint's pretty good. Here's the first tactical remote scanning, and it's a steal from the rich and another steal from the rich. Again, I don't really mind that not having that in my deck, but it's a 3 boost, unfortunately, so that's not great on that end. But no 5s yet, so I can't say I'm the most upset about that. So Ema will maneuver up the map and stand by that battlefield item, and I will dance around and assemble my outlaws in a flanking position. I'll be using the +2 to shoot Shuri. And same song, different verse. It's a 7 value Hunter's Eye into a nano triage processor. So 5 damage goes through, but then 1 is healed. I think that was a +2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a +2. So Shuri is down to 2 health as it is. So Robin does take a step back. At this point, I look at the board and wonder why I haven't actually blocked off access to Robin. And so actually, this is a mistake, because obviously Robin was stood on that space, and Ema was just kind of said, "Oh, that's fine, just maneuver." It just, you would have put someone there, but yeah, we both missed that one, so sorry about that. Ema will use the EMP array and discard 2 regroups. I'll discard a regroup and a highway robbery, so which is not ideal, but hopefully it speaks to the fact that my hand is pretty decent at the time. So here we go. Shuri will take a shot at that outlaw. No defense, nano triage processor, it's the other one. So Shuri will get another heal. It's not healing Black Panther, so it's not full value, but it's kind of nice for him that he managed to get both off. And it's great that he's using his ranged hero while she's still around. He knows she's a target, but there's not that much he can do to protect her. And here's an ambush into her. She had 3 health left, but an ambush undefended will guarantee a kill. So we take an Ancestral Insight, which is a perfect amount of boost damage, but also crucially it gets a big 4 that's very annoying out of Ema's deck. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And Robin will remember his ability and step back behind his wall of outlaws. So once again, it's down to Black Panther against Robin and a bunch of guys. This time Robin is on full health, so that's a key difference. It's looking a little bit better so far. So Ema takes a step to the rocket pack, and so I'll send that one guy to try and attack, and Ema will just take it, and it's highway robbery. Well, it's a good decision to not defend it, because unless it's a feint, it's going to get cancelled and 2 damage will go through. And then I'll move back. So I have something like 4 cards in my hand. Ema will maneuver and attack. He has a nice position being able to defend that rocket back, because he means he can jump anywhere. So there's an analyze and adjust into a snark, so no damage goes through, fortunately. A card does get stolen, and it's a feint, which does hurt, but I get to draw a card at least. So 3 cards banked in Ema's suit, but he does leave himself in range of a laser cannon and just gets shot. But yeah, he's holding on to a 3 boost, a 3 boost, and a 2 boost at the moment, so it's not ideal. Black Panther on 10 health. He's still very much in this game, because he just had to chew through a couple of guys and then he can get in. Cat-like reflexes into a wily fighting. Again, somehow miraculously, the outlaw doesn't die, and then 1 damage is dealt to Black Panther. So he's down to 9. We're looking okay so far. The outlaw will maneuver away and we'll just double maneuver. It looks like we need the cards because Ema's been so aggressive lately. And he'll step back to the rocket pack. And now I'm at a position where I'm looking like I'm going to overdraw. So I have to think about this for a while. Do I just sit here and overdraw? Or, yes, I will. I'll discard a piercing shot. Or do I go aggressive? But me going up aggressive against him with outlaws, I might not have the right cards in hand, I think, at this point. But fortunately for me, Ema does try to be offensive now. So he'll play Stalking Panther, gain an action. Ancestral Insight into a snark. He's fed up with my 3 defenses, keeping the outlaws alive. So he will steal a snark and kill an outlaw, and then retreat back, mostly out of range. And he'll boost, and yeah, he'll go into that corridor, which is very annoying for ranged fighters, especially from where I am sitting. So I think now I have to go in, and it's just a case of which cards I want to use to get there. Ema is counting his deck, and he ends up counting my deck too, and somehow I am, he is ahead in the deck count in the sense that he has way more cards in his deck than I do. I think there's a differential of about 4 to 5 cards. So at this point, he knows that exhaustion is definitely a thing. I will fire one of my 5s, a Hunter's Eye, into a Microwave Mesh, and of course he will defend it and boost it with one of my own cards, which is, it just always feels bad. So there we go, and he gets to draw a card and he just takes no damage, and it's pretty good, it turns out. So that's 2 of the 5s out of my deck, and they are the main damage dealers. Of course, there's the high robbery, but you have to see them at the right time, and there have to be outlaws still alive at that time. So Black Panther will have a kind of a pass with the rocket pack, and he'll walk up to the outlaw right here at the end of the corridor, and it's an Analyze Adjust into Defense of Sherwood. So that's 2 more cards out of my deck because he steals 1 and I draw 1, but I get an outlaw back, I suppose. Yeah, this is a weird game. So I get an outlaw back. It has to be in Robin's zone. He steals a wily fighting from me, so there's 3 outlaws left. Robin is still at full health, and Black Panther's, apologies, his dial has just moved off screen, but I think he's still at 9. I haven't done any damage since the ping damage. So we'll take a maneuver, and it's kind of an odd spot, and I can't swap Robin in for an outlaw at this point, so to try and kite Black Panther out. So here's an ambush into a feint. That's kind of fine by me. It's just trying to draw out his feints, really. I believe there's still a couple of highway robberies left in the deck, but I might be mistaken. So I, for some reason, leave both outlaws right next to him, and so he just gets to hit both of them, which was definitely a mistake on my part. So here's a Vibranium Shockwave into Wily Fighting. He does consider not boosting it, but then he's like, yeah, he'll take the damage anyway if the outlaw doesn't die, so he will boost, get the card draw anyway, and kill the outlaw. And then second action, he'll hit the other one, which makes a lot of sense, to be honest. So it's undefended Vibranium Shockwave. I ask him if he wants to boost it. He says no initially, and then, you know what, he's got plenty of cards in deck, so why not? He's running lowish on cards in hand, it looks like. Not lowish, but he's middling, so having more options just seems better anyway. And he'll boost with my Wily Fighting. So, only 1 outlaw left. Robin will move in to take a shot and then try and jump behind his buddy. And it's a Hunter's Eye into an Anti-Metal Claws, which is one of the saddest interactions I think I've seen in a while, because my boost value is 4, so his 1 value just fully defends my 5. His 1 versatile just says no to the strongest card in my deck, pretty much. And yeah, that's not a feel-good interaction, I must say. But here we are. So then here's a boost, just to try and close some distance and get more card draw. We'll hit the Outlaw. And at this point, I'm not sure there's much I should be doing about it. And then Sentry Insight, which just steals more cards out of my deck. Great. There's another Highway Robbery. I knew there was one left. But no Outlaws to use it anyway. So we're in opposition where I'm close to decking out, but I haven't taken a single point of damage, whereas Black Panther is still sitting pretty at 9. However, I've not done any damage to him for the last 10 minutes in real time, so it's pretty difficult. Here's a regroup into an evade. So we both get a card draw, and I step away. It's an attempt at baiting him out of defenses, but he has so many cards in hand that I think he's probably fine for defenses. But, you know, what else can you do, right? So Panther will take a step away and try to force me to engage, which makes sense. So I'm finally out of deck, and Ema still has a good number of cards left, so it's on me to make it happen. I'll boost in, and I'll attack, and it's a disarming shot into an evade. At this point, I say thank you, like thank God for the fact that you defended it, because it would have been terrible otherwise. Just, I play a card and take 8 damage, I guess. So I take 2. The first 2 damage done to me is done by my own hand, more or less. Here's a Stalking Panther to gain 2 actions. Well, 2 actions next to me, essentially. Here's the first attack. I feel like I have to defend it with a feint, and it is not the Wakanda Forever, so it's probably a follow-up. I think that's all of my feints gone. It's 1 damage through. Ema can move me up to some number of spaces, but I don't think, or himself, up to some number of spaces, but I don't think he does. And he simply maneuvers, and of course I have to walk in and get it done, so... Oh, never mind, I instead walk the other direction. That's fine. I've only got 6 health left. It's fine. So Black Panther boosts in, and we'll attack. He's still got cards in his deck left, so this is just kind of ridiculous. I used the +2, and it's a Defenders of Sherwood at 5 value into a Wakanda Forever, well, Wakanda Forever into a 5 value. I feel like Ema can boost above this pretty easily, so that's 3 damage over the Defender of Sherwood. The Defender of Sherwood also draws me a card, so I take 2 damage there. I'm down to 1. That was pretty brutal. But here we go. Here's the last Wakanda Forever into a feint. And, I mean, I got that feint, but yeah, it does the 1 damage through. So there it is. Black Panther takes both games against Robin Hood. It isn't greatly surprising, given that Robin Hood likes to draw cards and Black Panther likes to steal cards and draw cards, so you can both keep up the aggression and tempo and also exhaust Robin a lot faster. But yeah, also very well played by Ema. He didn't give me many options, especially towards the end there, so nicely done. Thank you everyone for watching. Catch you next time.